Welcome to episode 73 of the Hoop Threads podcast, here with another prospect spotlight with my good friend Cameron Ward from Largo and Team Durant. Cam, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Man, it's just another day in paradise. So we're going to get to some film here in a minute, but first we're going to kind of start with your game, kind of talk about high school and AAU, as well as things you've been working on. So start at the beginning. When did you know that you first loved the game of basketball?
I would say I first started loving the game basketball around like third, fourth grade. Before I loved basketball, I was just kind of tall, so I just like went with the flow, and I just was always the tallest kid. So, but when I really like start working out and putting the work in, that's when I started doing, which was around like third, fourth grade.
Tell me about your first dunk.
My first dunk. I think my first my first actual dunk was in eighth grade finale last year in warm ups. My first in game was summer league last year. Summer league last year.
Talk about the dunk. What was who was it against? Kind of time to score. How'd that go?
My first dunk was a body actually. A
Really?
body.
I'm gonna have to see this. You're gonna have to send me that clip
I
after.
gotta find it.
All
My
right.
first dunk was body actually. We played National Christian last year in Washington College, Watson College's
Team camp.
yeah camp, and we were playing National Christian. They got a ball on a fast break, and I was on my left side, so I'm like, last year I wasn't really confident, like using my left hand. So I was like, "You're gonna try and go with nugget." So he ended up just jumping. I don't know if he slipped or just like tried to run through, but he tried to smack the glass. So he smacked the glass, and I went opposite hand and just boomed
Hmm.
it on him.
Okay. All right. Definitely got to see that footage. All right. So, your father coaches you at the high school level, and I'm sure trains you as well. Talk about his impact on your development.
He's impacted me a lot. He definitely impacts me a lot from just seeing him every day at practice to coming home. It's just the same. One thing I can say is the relationship between home and on the court, it doesn't affect nothing. It's still all the same love, him fussing and cussing on the court, it doesn't affect nothing at home. Like whatever happens on the court, we get in the car and it back to laughing and we would talk about whatever happened in practice or just anything on ESPN, like just anything. So we always talk about sports and the relationship is always good.
What is he the hardest on you about?
Definitely being a leader. Hard on me about being a leader. He realizes that our team goes as far as I go, and same for AAU. Is just however far you go is how far the team will go. So I've been working on being a leader. Making sure guys are in class. Have something to eat more than anything, rather than just being an outside leader, just not on the court but off.
Mm, okay. I like that. Appreciate you, Rodney, on that one. All right. So, talk about what individual or team accomplishments you're kind of gunning for this year.
Definitely, I want to win. Last year we won, but we didn't win those key games to put us over the top and personally put me over the top. So I feel like this year we have to win games. Winning games this year will put our team on notice and also help individual accomplishments like player of the year and all those things.
What are some of your long-term goals as a player individually at the high school level?
Definitely to win Gatorade Player of the Year for state. I want to win that. That's been a goal of mine for a while. So I want to try to win Gator Player of the Year, hopefully multiple times. It could be this year, next year, and senior year. So that's what we're trying to attempt for. So definitely that. Scoring 1,000 points. I think I'm close from last year. I think I'm close. So I'm gonna try and get that. And another long-term goal. I want to win state championship. So that's the biggest goal. I feel like we can do it this year and definitely for years to come. So.
You have dreams of playing at the college and pro level, or you just done after high school?
Nah, college and pro is definitely it. I don't know what college yet specifically, but I definitely want to play at a college that fits me. And then pro level, of course, everyone's goal is to make it to the league. So I want to make it to the league, but not just make it. I want to sustain, have a nice career, 10, 11, 12-year career, to just be sustainable for after.
Okay. We'll get to the college stuff in a second. But talk about, your game. What have you been working on the most? What have you added to your game over the past summer and, coming into the season here?
Definitely shooting the ball more. Last year I really didn't shoot a lot of outside shots or the mid range. It was just all straight downhill. But I can say this year I definitely added the mid range game, three ball game. So I'm very confident in my shot.
Okay. What is your role on both AAU and at Largo, and how do you plan to grow it over the next couple of years?
The whew, That's a great question. The role is definitely being a leader, definitely, leading by example, and also leading with my voice. Have to be the most like vocal player on the court, especially for AAU and especially for high school. Getting the guys to lead. AAU and high school are a little different. AAU it's they know what they're doing. High school they know what they're doing too, but it just different roles you got to play. You may not have to be as hard as AAU because everyone is kind of always there. Then for high school, you got to play a bigger role. Just make sure everyone is together and have the same goal. So I
Okay.
think that's a big role.
I appreciate your dad getting on you about leadership and talking, because that's something that the game definitely needs, especially at the youth level. So, talk about a time that you faced adversity and how you dealt with it. What are some tools that you used to navigate it?
Adversity, definitely self doubt, a few injuries. During the summer, I hurt my knee a little bit, bone bruise. I was out for some time. I missed a couple games, and then I was out for 7 weeks with a sprained ankle that got worse because I tried to play on it. It got worse over time. So it was actually the day after, no, actually the same day as the Zane Classic. After we had team camp, so it was
Mm,
really right after I left you and
mm.
happened there. So I was out for 7 weeks for that, and then just self doubt about what I still be the same and that. But one thing I can say, just relying on your teammates. Relying on your teammates, relying on your family, just keep you grounded and keep you at the same level as far as mentally wise. And also, having adversity makes you work on other things. So I definitely was able to grow in other places while I was hurt.
Appreciate that. That's a great answer. What's your gym schedule and who sets it?
My gym schedule.
Mhm. What?
I kind of set my own gym schedule. It just works about how my schedule for school is going, how my schedule for practice is. So if we have late practice, probably be in the gym about an hour after, and then maybe an hour before practice. We have Saturday practice, so we're in there before, we're in there after. So basically 7 days a week we in the gym, and then of course strength and conditioning with my guys over at Quantum Movement. So I go there about 2-3 times a week.
Mhm.
Just after practice or before, just to get some make sure my body's working, make sure everything's tight and ready to go.
What's one thing you think that you do that makes you stand out versus other guys?
I think I have a high motor. I think my high motor and my ability to get to the basket and just affect the game in many ways. I feel like no one's going to outwork me. Just like, no one's going to just like cook me. Like, you're not just going to cook me and I'm not going to cook you back. So you may get off, but I'm going to get off way more than you are. So I think that's what it is, just having that mentality and also just affecting the game in multiple ways, like taking charges, rebounding, guarding other team's best player, just working around those ways to just make people stand up because everyone can score, everyone can pass, everyone can shoot. So
Mhm.
just finding other ways to affect the game.
Awesome. Okay. Let's talk about some of your interests and hobbies off the court. What do you do on the weekends when you're not in the gym?
Not in the gym. I definitely play video games, play a lot of Madden, Call of Duty. So I play video games. I like to cook actually. I cook very well. So cooking is definitely a hobby of mine.
Okay, follow-up question. What's your best dish?
My best dish, probably seafood Alfredo. Definitely.
Interesting. Okay. Are we gonna give mom the credit on that one or pops?
Uh, we give mom some credit.
Mom's, yeah. All right. So how do you contribute to winning at the college level?
How do I contribute? I would contribute at the college level definitely by being a scorer, rebounder, and just overall just affecting the game anyways. I feel like whichever college lands me or gets me, they're gonna get a hard worker. So that'll never have to cross their mind about is he in a gym, is he on top of his books, and I'd be the first one there, last one to leave, just showing the guys that I can be a leader, even as if I'm a freshman or senior, I can just show them that I'm a lead and I'm gonna get the win no matter what. But
All right, kind of follow up question to that. What do you see your game being like at the college level, and what are you looking for in a university?
my game at the college level, definitely a scorer. I can score the ball in many ways. So I look to have the ball in my hands. I can score without the ball being in my hands with just offensive rebounds, putbacks. I don't have to be ball dominant. I can play off the ball, coming off down screens or, back screens. I can use my athleticism too, throw a lob here and there or just a full court pass and I go up and get it. So
Mhm.
that's one way I see myself fighting the college game, just like that. And then what I'm looking for in university, looking for a family aspect. I'm looking for somewhere where I know the coaches love me and that they're going to help me be the best I can be, and they're going to put me in the best situations. So yeah,
What type of style of play? Offensive, defensive. What are you looking for there?
I'm looking for fast-paced offense. Someone likes to run and go, run and gun. Um, someone that can play in transition. I like to play in transition. I feel like that's where I'm most effective at in transition because there's just so many options that I can do. So
Mhm.
transition definitely play a big part in transition, and then in the half court sets we can run something. And I think the biggest thing for me is I don't have to have a play ran for me to score the ball. I can just find spots within the defense and just sit there and make a play. So and then on defensive end, I would say just man to man, always in help side, just talking, being vocal, and taking pride in your matchup.
Okay, love that. As far as the college environment goes, would you rather be a big fish in a smaller pond, or kind of be a role player on a winning team?
Um, hmm, it's a great question. Depending on where, I feel like if I'm a big Smith and Fall pawn and we're not winning, then that doesn't do me no justice as far as a pro level. So I'd rather be a role player on a winning team that shows that I can win by being effective in other ways than being the big fish. So I feel like that would be something that I would definitely want to be a role player in a winning team, but also affecting the game other ways to stand out.
It's ironic too, because I feel like at the high school level, with Largo, I think you're a big fish in a smaller pond for sure. But as far as AAU goes, I think you play your role, within a really good Durant team. So that you kind of get in the best of both worlds right now as well. What are your grades like? What are you interested in studying? What are your plans outside of basketball?
Playing side basketball, I want to study in sports medicine. That's what I want to study in. As far as my grades right now, I have a 3.7 right at the moment, you
Nice.
know, pushing that 4.0. So
Okay.
I'm right there as far as that. And then after basketball, I don't know, honestly. After basketball, I'll probably just get into business, probably run my own business or who knows, pursue a cooking channel. Who knows? Who knows?
Think we yeah, me the American Gordon Ramsay. I love it. All right. So let's talk about what are some things that you really value?
Yeah, I really value family, valuing family and, certain friendships, definitely. So family, certain friendships. I value basketball, but we all know basketball comes to a stop at some point, but that doesn't mean you can't still be around the game. That's definitely what I want to do sometimes, be around the game. Although I may not be playing, but somehow find a way to be involved.
What about something more to the effect of, is trust a big thing to you? Is communication a big thing to you? Is honesty a big thing to you? Kind of what sticks out there?
Trust is definitely a big thing. I feel like if I can trust you, then I can depend on you. And if I can depend on you, then I can definitely have you around. If I can't do those things, then it's no point in you being around because you're just going to hinder me from my absolute goal.
Got you. What is a couple more questions, then we'll get to film here. What has the recruiting activity been like recently? Visits, kind of new teams getting involved. Because I know at the beginning of the summer, you actually didn't have any offers, and you came out of the summer with 7 of them.
Recruiting has been a roller coaster, always thinking like, am I good enough? Are they seeing what I'm seeing from my eyes? Like, do they see that I can help? But then, a wise man told me that, certain colleges may not be calling because they may not think that you fit their play style. You may not be there when they feel like they can get you. So I had to realize that, certain schools, when they call, they're calling because they feel like you can fit their program and fit their ways. So I definitely like that part.
All right, 2 more questions. What's your go-to move? The game on the line, 10 seconds on the clock. Clear out. Are you looking for a high ball screen, side ball screen? What are you looking for?
How much we down by?
Score is tied. Championship on the line.
Score is tied. We gonna have the right wing. We gonna call for ball screen on the left. We're gonna have like a side, like a brush screen or like ghost screen. So depending on how they playing it, you know, we gonna go over screen and then either begin downhill depending on the defense, or we doing one dribble step back, and we gonna game it from there.
Do you like the one dribble step back from the top of the key, wing? What you feeling?
Definitely top of the key.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, my charger.
Good. The last question for you is going to be kind of talking about your game. Kind of what are some strengths and then what are some weaknesses as well? Some things you're working on. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, you do yours.
some strengths is definitely getting downhill in transition. I feel like I'll get the ball below the free throw line, I think we can just put 2 points on the board. I feel like that's a strength. We can maneuver me in different options. Like I said, I don't really have to have the ball in my hands to affect the game. So definitely a strength would be rebounding. I feel like I rebound well on offense and defensive glass because I'm always moving. It's no time where like I'm standing still. I'm always moving, which gets annoying for defenders because they're like, when is he gonna stop? Like, just give me a break. But I'm always moving as far as strengths. I feel like my mid-range game is definitely a strength. I feel like I depend on it when certain things aren't going well. I feel like I can get to like their free throw line area or like their right wing or left wing, and feel like I can knock that shot down. Some weaknesses would definitely be going over my right shoulder. Yeah, definitely going over my right shoulder in the block. Going over my right shoulder, definitely a weakness, but we working on it. And then definitely defending full court. To be 6'6" and defending full court takes a lot, but I'm definitely working on my lateral quickness so I can be a defender throughout the court. So, definitely.
Sorry, one more question. So what is the spot on the floor that you feel the most comfortable and then the least comfortable?
Spot on the floor I feel the most comfortable is probably like that mid right post. I feel like right there, I feel like I have a lot of options to maneuver from. And I feel like that's where I can flourish the most because I can either take them off the drive. If I face up, I can back them down and shoot a mid range, or I can get all the way in there and just finish over top of them.
Okay. Any bad spots on the floor? Any spots you're kind of working on right now?
Definitely working on that left wing. That left wing to maneuver. Definitely that. And I feel like one spot that's like gradually improved is definitely that top of the key. That top of the key three that's money.
Better. Okay. Cool. All right, so let's get to some film here. Let's see what your stance is looking like, big dog.
Ah,
Can you see the video here?
yeah, I can see it.
Perfect. All right. Kind of going with one of your strengths, shooting. Kind of coming off the screen here. Contested three, knocked it down. Corner three, knocked that down. It's all in the same game, too.
Yeah,
He's getting to it that game.
yeah, definitely.
This is an AAU. Nice little pull up in the middle of the zone. It's a really good read. He got fouled there, but makes a really good pass, kind of going across your body, bounce pass there, like that. This is a really good read, kind of through the defense. He got fouled at the end there. This one's in transition. Really good kick ahead to your guard to get the bucket. This I just call OC. I think you're just doing too much there.
Yeah,
This one, I don't hate this shot, but I will say you have 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders within 5 feet of you, and then you have a teammate in the far corner and at the top of the key that are open. You were kind of feeling it. You were hot this moment, so I don't completely hate it. This one is just the amount of dribbles that you took off to get a shot that you could have just taken the first time.
yeah, I'm not really proud of that.
Yeah. Well, let's see if you're proud of this one. So first, we're gonna go to some footage real quick. The late great Kobe Bryant guarding Dwayne Wade full court. In a pretty meaningless regular season game before the All-Star game even started.
He's making it work. Right.
Good stuff. I want to shoot. Give Kobe a lot of credit.
So that's the type of defense that we are looking for. And we'll see what she's just looking like here. And this is my biggest pet peeve. You turn the ball over
And don't get back.
and you don't get back. And every single person on both teams gets back, and you're not even cross half court. This one is just your stance.
It's too high. Way too high.
And then the biggest problem here, that wasn't even your man, so I'm not super mad about it, but it's not like you were boxing out your man to begin with. And here's just finding a body as soon as that shot goes up. So as soon as this shot goes up, right, you just turn and finding somebody. Because if you're just waiting for a rebound at the next level, you're going to get dunked on.
Yeah.
This is one of those moments where you look up and then all of a sudden someone's over the top of you shooting free throws. So you didn't notice that your man's on the other side there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love your dad. I would have pulled you out right here. You let this man go from the top of the key all the way to the end.
I think I might have subbed out there. Not even.
We're gonna cut back real quick.
With a 3-point lead, Teague out front. Teague was a great pickup for the Celtics.
Kevin Durant, one of the best players in the game.
Boy, this guy,
The way he's doing
already
defensively.
with 13 for a slow start.
In gaps, we've seen both.
Tatum and Joe Harris.
This is maybe the best clip at the beginning of the top of the video. Gets back, contests.
Continues to evolve.
Defensive.
This is a really good possession from him. Got over the screen.
First time Eastern Conference All-Star.
Stays with him. He tests that one.
Inside for Jaylen Brown in traffic.
This one I want you to notice for sure, because everyone gets screened. The way that he fights through it and then fights to get back in front, ain't completely out the side. That's what you want.
Defensively, coming in his direction, he should have some opportunities.
Again, getting this through the screen and then working hard to get back in front. That's what we need.
On Tatum. This is a nice matchup.
Chest up.
Tatum with a
Test.
tough fadeaway.
That's the type of thing that we need to see from you, and that's also the thing that we know that you're capable of as well.
Definitely have to start taking pride in it more.
This is another one that you haven't crossed half court, and they had another two. This one, so now your team is on a 3-on-2 because your boy just got dropped, but then you're also on the other side of half court as well.
Yeah.
And this is a tight game. I think you guys were up 2 at this point, and that 3 gave them the lead. It's not all bad defensively. love the charge. There's another really good one here. We already saw the tail end of this play earlier. The bounce pass across the chest. Second charge. Love this one. Good help, and they came over and took one on the chin. Got on the floor here. As the game was getting down toward the end, nice block here. That one, I'm not super high in the rotation, but you were there. Good contest without fouling. Man, was that Jalen? Oh,
That's Jalen.
Jalen Rugier Rowan with the rare bad moment defensively. That's my dog, so I'm not going to clown him too hard. So this one is a really nice step through. Kind of going through some of your finishes now. Nice touch on the floater. Nice reverse lay here. Good steal there. Get going in transition. Go by the whole defense. This is what you do really well at the offensive level with Durant. Just rebound the hell out of the ball. Good finish here. Nice finish in transition there. Nice step through and finish there. We love that aggressively. Nice aggressive dunk in transition. So, it's all there. I think you have the tools offensively to get to where you got to be. And then also defensively, I think you have enough instincts to get where you want to be. It's just gotta the want to has to be there if you feel what I'm saying. And then I think the rebounding on both ends can be special because then you can spark the break and you can kind of get going in transition, like you said, which is where you thrive. And so it's like you have to put forth like that 110% effort that we saw from Mr. Bryant in the clip there if you want to get to the offense or the defensive rebounds, so then you can get yourself going and score. Because something I tell a lot of my players is when you're not playing well offensively, if you play well defensively, I promise you I'll keep you in the game. And I promise you that the defense will then lead to the offense. And once you get a couple of those layups, once you get a couple of those scores, all of a sudden now the jumper's dropping again. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that, sometimes like through watching film, you're playing down to the competition. And there's a certain level of effort that you need to be if you want to reach some of these goals that you're trying to reach. If you're trying to reach, Maryland Gatorade Player of the Year, if you're trying to reach, top 30, which I think you're capable of, if you're trying to be a McDonald's All-American, like the half-ass defense is not going to cut it. Right now, you can kind of slide by because, you are the man at Largo and, you're one of the better players in Team Durant as well. But when you get to the college level, all of a sudden now everybody's as good as you. And now it separates you, if you get what I'm saying. And that extra 10% is what makes the difference between, a dude that's talking to his grandkids. Oh, back in the day, I was, a great high school player. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. And, a long career playing basketball after college, playing, changing the entire lives of all of your family and as well as yourself. So appreciate the time, brother. Best of luck this season and look forward to watching you play more.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, brother.